Event today. So I'm going to open the browser. Sorry, I'm going to open the Eclipse software. Today I'll design the scripts related to the priority. So yesterday we have designed but not executed, right, due to some path and some problems in that Eclipse version. That is the reason we haven't executed that completely. So let us see that part today, how it is going to be executed, what is the execution process it is going to be carried out, and we'll see. Yep. So this has been opened and I'm going to create a project here. So, already project is there, no need to worry about this then. So I'm going to create one class file. bust.com/eclipse slash at first http testing. I'm downloading. Just give me a moment. Maybe it is taking some time, guys. 42% has been completed. Shit. Okay. Meanwhile, do you people have any questions from the yesterday's session? So let it download. Yeah, downloaded. So I'm going to check this checkbox and I'm going to click on next. Maybe I think it throws an error related to Maven. Oh, that's fine. Click on OK. Accept. Finish. This installation has been completed. Now I need to configure testng libraries to my project. So the process of configuring the libraries is right click on the project, build path, configure build path. Okay, here I need to add library. Oh, what happened, man? Not it came here. Yes, installing software is 10% only. Why it is taking so much of time? Install anyway. Restart now. So already project is there, right? Just have this configuration. Within a couple of minutes we'll start designing the script. Add library, testng. Click on next. It is going to be added to our libraries. Click on apply. Click on apply and close. Here having testng libraries. In this I am going to create one new package for our reference, so that it will be easy for us to track the programs, which is nothing but framework is my package name. Framework scripts. I'm going to create the program now. Let's have annotation. Let's have annotation. Here first I'm going to start with @test public void first step. So here I'm going to take this name as before test annotation system.out.println, where I'm going to give the statement this action belongs to before test annotation. Let me create one more @test public void second step system dot out dot println, where I'm going to give this action belongs to test annotation. And one more, I'm going to design one more method after test public void third step, where we are going to give system dot out dot println this action belongs to after test annotation. I'm going to import the statements for this. Done. Means here in the yesterday session we discussed about this particular statement, about this particular program, where once I click on run button, first Java compiler tries to search with @test annotation whether our test-ng program is having @test annotation is there or not. Yes, if your program is having @test annotation, then in the next step it tries to search with before test or before method annotation. Yes, before test annotation is there. If our program is having before test annotation, first Java compiler execute before test and before method, then only it will come to test. Once test has been executed, then it will go to after test or after method annotations. But here in this program, our process of execution should be first is it executes this particular step, and then it comes to this step, and then it comes to this step. First I'll execute this one, and then we'll jumble this particular thing, and we'll see how it is going to be executed. Right click, there are here multiple ways to execute the program. Either right click on this particular screen, run as test-ng test, or else you can click on run button, or else you can go to run and click on run. So I am clicking on run here, and we will see the output now. See how it is executing. This action belongs to before test annotation, this action belongs to test annotation, this action belongs to after test annotation. First see this one, and then I'll explain you the remaining things. What is this remaining? This is one of the best report which ever generated with test-ng, because as I said, test-ng generates the detailed report. This is the detailed thing. I'll explain it to you, no need to worry. But here if you observe first these three things, it has been executed in a sequence order. I am going to change this particular after test annotation to top of this program, and we'll see how it is going to be executed. Even I am going to change this particular annotation to the top of the program. It has to be executed after test only, right? So first I have written @after test, @before test, and @test. Let's see the execution part. See, even though I have mentioned after test annotation in the top of the program, it is going to be executed once the test statement has been executed. Once the test annotation has been executed, then only it will get executed. Guys, did you understand what I mean to say here? Yep. So now let's move to a simple simple logic regarding @test only with the priority concept. Before going to that concept, let me explain you the remaining part what you are seeing in this output. Here, always remember these points. Always The status related to pass or failed will be displayed in the output related to @test annotation only. @test annotation is having the method name second step. That is the reason you are seeing the output passed second step. And default tests run here. In this test, only one @test annotation is there. That @test annotation is going to be displayed here. And second thing, default suit means default test and default suit. Default test is nothing but only one program. Default suit is nothing but the programs in this particular package. If there are multiple programs in this package and you are trying to execute all the programs at the same time, then it will calculate number of @test annotations in all the programs and it will display the count here. But here, whatever the current active program you are executing, the count of @test annotations in that program will be displayed. And here, the status passed and failed will be displayed only related to that particular method name of @test annotation. Okay, and this is the test ng output. Default suit, it took 0.013 seconds to execute. Default test, to open this program, it took 0.013 seconds. Framework script dot annotation is nothing but our package name dot class name. And second step is to complete the program execution. It took 0.013 seconds. Failed test cases are nothing. And here summary is, it took this much time. And class count is number of class files only one. Number of methods are only one. Even though it is having 3 methods, it is displaying only one count, which is related to @test annotation only. And passed is 1, failed is 0, skipped or 0. If all the cases are being passed, then it will display the status in green color. Otherwise, the status will be displayed in red color. Okay, I'm going to change this program now. The same program, I'm going to change the format. Yep, here for all the programs I am going to give @test only. I'm going to change this one, third step. This one is fourth. This one is fifth. And this one is, yes, that is what I am doing now. Sixth method. So this annotation belongs to, so I'm going to unmute the mic. Yeah, you can unmute your mic and you can explain it to me.
Before and after test also, along with before and after test, can we write this @test priority, sir?
Okay, we can write, I'll do that one.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so let us have that in this program only. So here @test, and this will be after test. Okay, here @test is there, and I'll mention this as test 1. I'll mention this as test 2. I'll mention this as test 3. I'll mention this as test 4. Nothing. Okay, fine. Now I'll give the priority. So for our sake, just first I'll give the format in a normal sequence way. Priority is equals to 1. Okay, I'm going to change the numbers here. This should be second, this should be third, and this should be fourth. So here first I'll explain how it is going to be executed. The output will be, I'll write it in a notepad. First before test will be the output, and then test will be the output, and then After test will be the output as per our sequence. But at the rate test methods are four methods are there. So here at the rate test, at the rate test, at the rate test, at the rate test. It's all about priority level again. It will display priority is equals to 1. First priority, second priority, third priority, fourth priority, it is going to be executed. We will see how it is going to be displayed in the output. So remember this one, I'll open this file after our execution completed here. So I'm clicking on run. See, first this action belongs to before test annotation, and then it executes at the rate test annotation 1 2 3 4, and then after test annotation. And here pass the second step, fourth step, fifth step, sixth step, because this particular program is having 4 at the rate test annotation. That is the reason it is displaying 4 passed status. And in this test we have 4 test annotations. That is the count, that is the reason count is 4. And in this suit there are 4 tests, so that is the reason count is 4 here. Let us jumble this one. So I'm going to change this priority to 2, priority to 4, priority to 1, here priority to 3. So just I changed the priority, but I haven't changed the number. Means first it will execute this statement, and then it will execute 3, and then it will execute 1, test 1, and then it will execute test 4, and then it will execute test 2. So I am going to execute this one, save this one, see the output now. Did you understand the priority now? Test 3, test 1, test 4, and test 2. After that, after test execution has been done. Guys, did you understand?
Uh,
Yep, tell me.
Instead of
Any?
before and after test, we can achieve
Okay.
using test priority also. So what is the difference between this case and that case, sir? Same thing we achieve now using priority.
Same thing we can achieve, but in the output, when you are segregating all the at the rate test annotations, suppose let's say for example, complete your program contains only before test and after test. Your program contains only before test and after test. Then if those are important methods, are you going to see them in the output? Did you understand my question? Suppose before test you have used. Here in this
Yes.
before test annotation, the action you are performing is very important. The action you are
Yes.
performing is very important. But you don't know
But
whether the
output level,
particular action has been executed successfully or not.
yes.
So in that case,
Output,
your output will not be there for at the rate test annotation.
yes, yes,
That
yes.
is one main difference that we can say.
Okay,
Any
sir.
questions?
Yeah, so here in program we can see before test and after test, and also tests are there.
Yep.
So I thought that after every test it will. So for there are four tests are there at the rate test. So I thought that um, before executing first test it will take before test one statement, and then it will print test that print statement, then after test print statement, and again it will move
One
to
moment.
second test.
One moment. One moment. So I didn't get the exact question here you are asking. So you are asking about the annotations at the rate before test, test and after test, right? So
Yes,
your question is at the rate before. What is that question?
I thought that there are four at the rate tests are there. So I
Yes.
thought that after before printing, before going to each test it will execute for separately, for each test it will print after test before test and after test statements, but it is printing only before test one statement, and all the at the rate tests statements are printed, and then after completing all the test, that last after test statement is printed.
Oh, you are saying that for every @test annotation, you want to print before test and after test.
Yes, so I thought it will print in that way. um,
No, it won't print like that. So that is what I said, right? Once you click on run button, first Java compiler tries to search for @test annotation. If your @test annotation is available, then immediately it tries to search with @before test annotation. If @before test annotation is available, then first it will execute @before test annotations. If there are n number of times in your program, it executes n number of times.
mm,
It executes n number of @before tests. If @before tests are not available, then directly it will execute @test annotation only. So here we can design the program whatever the format you said. Whatever the format you said, we can design the program, but it's not only related to @before test and after test. We need to use @before method and after method. Anyways, we will use that annotations also. No need to worry. First, the initial session would be on @before test, after test, and test only. So that is the reason I use this thing. The format you said will be happen by using @before method and after method annotation. I'll discuss with you about that.
okay, yes.
So anyways, we will see, we will check it now. I'm going to use this as a before method, let it be after test, and sorry, I want to use this as a after method, @test, after test. I'm going to remove this one, and let's remove this priority here also, and I'm going to remove this method. So understand, here in this program I have @before test, before method, after test, after method, and @test method is there. First I'll execute this one, we'll see the output. See, first it executes before test annotation, and then it executes this test belongs to test1 annotation, right? So where it is like this one, it executes before method, and then it executes test2 annotation, this one @test annotation, and then it executes after test. And so I'll explain you the sequence. In the program I have used before test, before method, after test, test, after method. The sequence of execution will be, it will execute this first and it will execute this next. After this thing completed, the next thing will be @test, and then after method, and then after test. Did you understand the sequence? If we are going to write the sequence in this particular annotations, means we can write it like this: before test, before method, test, after method, after test. This will be the sequence. First it will execute before test, before method, test, after method, and after test. So maybe whatever the output that you are thinking, that output will be achieved from these annotations.
Yeah, yes.
Did you understand now?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah. So any questions, guys? I hope you understood this concept. I want you to try this concept with your normal scripts, what you have been designed earlier. So just what you need to do here, create one before test annotation. In this before test, try to have browser launching, and then in the @test annotation, try to have URL passing, and after test, try to have get title statement, so that these things will be covered in your execution part. So the next thing we need to discuss about is depends on method annotation. Depends on method annotation. We will discuss about this annotation in the next session, but as of now, whatever the concepts that we have discussed, those are very important. I want you to have some available time on this, because if you know about these things, then only it is easy for you to design the framework. It is easy for you to design the complete scripting part. Okay, so anyhow, if you have any questions while doing configuration or something like that, just ping me once. I think we have a group, right? So you can just ping me so that I'll explain you what needs to be done there. Fine, guys, thank you, and hope we don't have session tomorrow and we'll have a session on Saturday. So we will discuss on Saturday session about depends on method, and we will complete that depends on method, and after that we'll create one uh, structure of this particular project, and I'll explain you the process what you need to be followed in the real time.